NewsRme. Inside the mysterious triple murder committed before the Boston Marathon bombing. It didn't take long for police to figure out who was behind the Boston Marathon bombings on April 15, 2013, Chechen immigrants Dzhokhar and Tamerlan Tsarnaev. They later killed an MIT police officer and engaged in a shootout with the police. Tamerlan was killed by his brother's car, and Dzhokhar was captured hiding in a backyard boat near Watertown. Also, it soon became clear that Tamerlan had become radicalized online, adopting a violent Islamist ideology that led him to travel to Dagestan in Russia to further his jihadist goals and inspired him to drop more bombs on Times Square. Since Tamerlan was dead and Dzhokhar was on death row, even after his last appeal, the case was relatively open and shut. Tamerlan was responsible for an earlier triple murder, and had he been caught at the time, and the Boston Marathon bombings would have been stopped without a clue. Dzhokhar wrote this story for the Daily Beast and wrote the book. It's about the murders of Brendan Mays, Eric Weissman and Raphael Tikhon, three friends from Waltham, Massachusetts. On September 11, 2011, their bodies were found with their throats slit and covered in marijuana. They all went to Mace's apartment to watch Sunday Night Football. Detectives thought the victims knew their killer because they were brutally killed with a knife and were not robbed. $5,000 in cash was found in the home. Unfortunately, the case went cold after only a week. This was because there were no more leads and people thought the three men, known cannabis dealers, were likely criminals who had run into trouble with a cartel. Weissman was a friend of Dzhokhar, and when he heard that he had been killed, he began to look into the murder, but he found nothing. But everything changed after the Boston Marathon bombings. The dead man's friends and gym partners quickly recognized Tamerlan as Mace's close friend and regular training partner at the boxing gym where Tamerlan was training. Dzhokhar thought that link was strange. Still, after the bombing, local and federal agents used cell phone communications to connect Tamerlan with then Orlando, Florida, Chechen MMA fighter Ibrahim Tatashev. They talked to him about the 2011 triple murder and asked him about it. But before he could write his confession, an FBI agent shot him dead. The agents said Ibrahim became hostile and tried to attack him.